typically an agency might charge a customer, I don't know, 5 to 10K a month to run their ads, and they're outsourcing all of that to somewhere else where they're paying that person maybe $100 a month, $200 a month to do the actual work. And they're just a friendly face that shows up on the client calls. That's the case for the majority of agencies, right? 95%. It's ultimately like an arbitrage on the labor rather than trying to get the best results for the customers.
Welcome to Playbook AI Partners Podcast, the show that turns AI from overwhelming into actionable.
Your host, Sandy Kibling, is the chief playmaker, helping business owners and teams stop chasing shiny tools and start using AI in a way that actually moves the numbers, saving time, reducing busy work, and driving growth.
Each episode features industry experts and real-world tactics, providing clear, do this next plays, simple AI workflows, and practical guardrails so you can use AI safely, execute with confidence, and get results.
Let's run the play.
Hello, everyone, and before we get into the show, just a quick 90-second update. What would you do with 5, 10, or even 15 extra hours each week? Maybe spend time growing your business, finally finishing that project, or maybe just closing the laptop before dinner for once. At Playbook AI Partners, we believe that AI should give you time back, not give you one more complicated thing to figure out. That's why we created the AI Solution Locker, a growing collection of practical, bite-sized solutions designed to help you solve real problems quickly. In 20 minutes or less, you heard right, 20 minutes or less, you can learn how to streamline those repetitive tasks, create content faster, organize information, build simple automations, and get more accomplished without becoming a technology expert. And here's a bonus. No endless or outdated courses, no confusing tech talk, just open the AI Solution Locker, choose the solution you need, and put it to work. And here's another bonus. You don't have to do it alone. And in this current wave of AI, I don't think you should. Inside the Huddle, our Playbook AI Partners community, you'll connect with other curious business owners and professionals who are learning, experimenting, and building with AI. Join live sessions, quarterly training boot camps, ask questions, access helpful resources, and get the support you need to move from AI overwhelm to confident action. So stop spending those hours trying to piece everything together on your own. Get the solution. Let's run the play together and get your time back. I would love to have you join the Huddle and get to meet you and help you on this journey. So visit Playbook AI Partners and step into the AI Solution Locker and the Huddle today. And now, on with the show.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, GROAS, the secret scaling engine behind smarter agencies and businesses. What if you could replace the traditional agency model or scale your client book without adding more headcount? Today, we're going to unpack how GROAS helps businesses grow smarter and gives agencies a behind-the-scenes way to scale with speed, strategy, and efficiency. To help us get into this topic, I have David Pourquery on the show. David is the founder of GROAS AI, creator of the world's first fully autonomous AI agents that outperform human Google Ads marketers. David's solution is not another AI-powered tool. It is GROAS, fully autonomous AI agents that replace the need for human marketers entirely. David brings a unique perspective to the intersection of AI, advertising, and entrepreneurship, with hard-won lessons from both the operator's seat and the investor's chair. Welcome to the show, David.
Thank you, Sandy. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, what a great bio. I'm looking so forward to our conversation. So let's start with you sharing your experience and how it led you on the journey that you're on today, especially with AI.
Oof, sure. I mean, look, where do I start, right? So yeah, before doing GROAS, I was working a full-time job in private equity, and before that, actually, at a venture capital firm. So got to see businesses of all sorts of scales, sizes. Learned a lot, obviously, during my time there. But I think I quickly saw I wanted to leave and do something myself. spend my evenings building e-commerce stores at night, right? In private equity, it's pretty full on. You typically don't have much time to yourself. So I was building out these stores overnight, not making enough money to leave a full-time job. Then somehow, whatever, grass came into the picture, and then here we are. But yeah, the exact details are quite something.
So amazed because you do have quite the journey. Let's start with what is the fundamental flaw in marketing agencies that cost businesses millions?
Yeah, I mean, look, I came into the industry as a complete outsider, right? Never worked at an agency before. I'd run a lot of Google Ads for myself, had friends who would run Google Ads for themselves, but never worked in an agency. But that basically gave, I think, us as a team, and we're all outsiders really to the industry, but it gave us, I guess, a very non-biased way of seeing how things get done and thinking this is just not right. Just to give you context, typically an agency might charge a customer, I don't know, 5 to 10K a month to run their ads, and they're outsourcing all of that to somewhere else where they're paying that person maybe $100 a month, $200 a month to do the actual work. And they're just a friendly face that shows up on the client calls. Um, that's the case for the majority of agencies, right? 95%, which seemed wrong, right? Because then it's ultimately like an arbitrage on the labor rather than trying to get the best results for the customers. So that was like the number one thing I think we saw coming in that we wanted to change up.
I had no idea, and by the way, that that much was spent on that, but I'm glad that you level set on that. But can you take us maybe through a client success story, kind of just where they were at and the transformation they experienced using GROAS?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's at this point there's probably hundreds we can speak to. Um, typically, just to say one off the top of my head, I mean, one of them maybe was paying an agency, I think $6 or $7K a month, came to us, is paying less than $1,000 a month, and we like 2 or 3x their business in a couple of months, right? But this happens constantly. Um, reason is that there's a few reasons, right? Anyone in the world can set up a marketing agency. Anyone can buy a domain, put up some fake case studies on their website, and then find businesses to target. You don't need any like certification. You don't need any special licensing that allows you to do this. And what that means is, again, the majority of the industry, there's a lot of people who I don't think should be running these marketing agencies. Reason we say this is because, like I said, 50 to 60% of our customers are people who have fired their agency. We see the bad work that they've done to their customers' accounts, and we have to come in and clean stuff up to get it in the right place. Happens all of the time. So I think, yeah, the way we've evolved as a company has definitely evolved from that frustration that we've seen amongst businesses.
What would you tell people who are out there that saying, "Okay, well, how exactly do you do that?" So you talk about eliminating the marketing agency in general. So it sounds like behind the scenes you're using AI to do this in a place where people, I think, are more obviously embracing AI, but there are still some skeptics out there. How do you take an organization from depending upon that marketing agency to completely embracing AI? I mean, how do you do that?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, look, let me give you some context on the grass journey, right? Um, Grass did not start off as like this fully autonomous thing that can just run people's campaigns. Okay. It started off as a very basic little SaaS tool, right? Little recommendations tool that would plug into people's campaigns and give some recommendations, right? So you actually had to use Grass. You had to come in and approve the things they might say, like, oh, you should add this keyword, you should remove this keyword. Very basic stuff. And the entry price was like super cheap. It was like $99 for up to 2K of ad spend through Grass. Um, but again, when I started building Grass, I never thought we would get to full autonomy. But through doing that, we inadvertently got there because we ended up getting so many different users across so many different niches, locations, etc., that we started to think, is this full autonomy thing even possible? And then based off all those users, we started to train our own custom models. And that's really where Grass sort of started to really take shape is we basically spent 6 months rebuilding everything from scratch, and then launched full autonomy in January of this year and have been with that so far. But basically, it was a transition, right? We didn't just build this AI thing, put it on people's campaigns and say, okay, you can go away. No, it took a lot of work and a lot of data to get to the point where people could trust it. Because that's another big thing. It's like you're giving AI my campaigns. Like, what if it goes and like causes a mess, spends all my budget stupidly? So yeah, it was a lot of hard engineering work to make sure that that doesn't happen at all.
That's really good to know. So, are there any checks and balances, human in the loop in that process, or does it completely run with autonomy?
Yeah, so look, now we basically have introduced fully dedicated account managers for
Mm,
every account we have on board.
yep.
Um, and actually, at the start, we didn't have that, and I realized very quickly it was necessary because what happened was people would come to us with accounts that were a complete mess, plug grass into them, and then expect grass to overnight just change everything completely, set up the strategy, etc., etc. The problem is, um, often maybe they didn't have things like conversion tracking in place, their website was a mess, and that's where a human in the loop is important in making sure that everything is basically set up correctly from day one. Are you tracking conversions? Is your offer readable? Does it render well on mobile? All these sorts of things you still need a human touch point for. So yeah, the human is still in the loop, but they can effectively just do a lot more, right? So if before you had one agency, one account manager managing 5 or 10 accounts, now with GROAS, they can oversee possibly hundreds. So that was the transition.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, you mentioned earlier many industries or niches you support and global. Can you tell us more about your customers that you support?
Yeah, I used to be able to do this better. Because, at the very start of GROAS, I had every single customer on my personal WhatsApp, which was quite something. Obviously, that helped us learn and iterate quite quickly, but it was hard work. Now I'm a lot less close to it, right? We have hundreds and hundreds of customers at this point, right? I think it's over 500, and it's a mix of, I would say, 60% businesses, direct businesses, who we are now their agency of record, and the other 40% is agencies running their clients through GROAS without telling them a thing, collecting their retainer, and then happy days for everybody. Um, if you include the agencies and clients, then we have thousands and thousands of different customers because they will typically have maybe 10 to 30 clients each. And if they're connecting all onto GROAS, then yeah, we have a lot of data to work with. Uh, yeah, it's super diverse. We have customers in countries I can't even name at this point, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. We'll make sure and link to the website, of course, but just kind of help us, the listeners understand the exact services or process in working with GrowAs.
Sure. I mean, look, we're really an agency at this point. For
Hmm.
businesses, we're really an agency, right? Because we take over their entire account, we take over the result. It's been quite hard, I think, to shift people's perception of GROAS from something that is like a little tool that helps you manage your accounts where we can't own the result to now we actually own your result. That's like the big, I think, shift that's occurred in the last few months is that transition from a tool to now a tool to now a fully managed service where we actually own the result, right? We don't want people going in and using GROAS. It causes too much confusion. So yeah, we're now effectively the agency of record. And then for agencies, obviously, we're like a white label partner, really, at this point.
Oh gosh, no, that's awesome to know. And the process is easy. I mean, it's let's say that if someone says, "Boy, I'm interested," you mentioned website earlier. Websites were not conversion wasn't being tracked. Websites were a mess. Do you look at the review of kind of the state of affairs and then implement the process, or how does that work for someone who says, "I'm interested in getting on board"?
Yeah, that's exactly what happens, right? So we have a PPC specialist, right? We typically hire people with at least 10 years experience, not less. So people who
Hmm.
really know what they're doing. They will come in and do a very, very in-depth audit of everything. Okay. And then based off that audit, again, we get accounts in some crazy states, some really bad states. So like we come in and suggest next steps. We approve, as long as they approve the plan, we then go ahead and action everything for them. So it's fully managed, it's fully done for you. As well, the importance of the human is to understand that person's business goals, right? Everyone has different goals. Some people are like, okay, we just want to get the most amount of brand recognition. We're not necessarily optimizing for the number of conversions. We just want people to know our brand. Well, that's going to require a very different setup to somebody who's purely optimizing for, hey, I need my phone to ring 50 times a day. So, like, again, that's where that human in the loop matters a lot.
No, absolutely. So, in closing, what would you tell someone who is still sitting on that fence of skepticism of this sounds too good to be true, and I get AI's here, I need to embrace it, and but what would you tell that person that's kind of thinking about that?
It's tough. I think
Yeah,
whenever there's been a big technological revolution in the past, people always like human nature stays the same, right? People always react in the same way.
yeah.
You had people at the start of the internet saying it was a sham, it wouldn't last, and look where we are today. I think AI is probably the biggest revolution in human history. I think what we're seeing now is pretty crazy. Its actual abilities to outperform humans at particular tasks is really impressive.
So I think I would just give those people a bit of time. I think they will soon realize that you either get on the train or you get left behind.
No, that's well said, and it's so true. And I hear people say that, but it's time to definitely get off the as we say in American football, right? To get off the sidelines, get on the field, and let's start, getting out there and running the play and taking action on it because it absolutely is here. I agree with you 100%. And I'm so impressed with what you're doing with GrowAs. It's really a great service, and really you're just taking and providing a great service and helping people see results and save money on their marketing budget. So thank you for doing that, and we'll link to the website so people can access that. And I really appreciate your time and expertise. It's been awesome. So thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. It's been a pleasure.
David on the show. What a wealth of information and a great solution with GrowAs. The link is in the show notes, so make sure and check it out. We hear often about how AI in the creative space takes away the creativity. Well, is this a true statement or not? In our next episode, we go beyond hype and explore how AI is changing the path from concept to execution, helping creators, startups, and businesses move faster, reduce any bottlenecks, and bring bold ideas to life. To help us get into this topic, Ryan Benson will be joining us on the show. Ryan is a fractional CTO and founder of Film Pilot AI, helping filmmakers turn screenplays into full pre-production plans with AI. Don't miss this episode. Until next time, take action, execute, and let's run the play.